Thank you very much for staying here with us on The Pulse. And of course, not the best of news coming through today with the revoking of licenses and the shutdown of various, quite a number of savings and loans companies. But of course, the Sports Bulletin is here to lighten up your mood a little bit. We're talking about the 2019 NBA camp. Now, if you look at the structure of the NBA, there are a few Ghanaians in there who are doing a great job so far. I'm very sure that most of you do remember Pops Mensah Bonsu for his exploits as a player and what he's doing in terms of administration as well. Well, he's here together with his team, and they're putting together an NBA camp looking at the prospects of basketball here on the African continent and, looking at the prospects of producing some more of the likes of Pops Mensah Bonsu. So he's here with John Manyo-Plange, who's also in charge of business strategy for the Basketball Africa League. Gentlemen, thank you very, very much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you in town. Absolutely. Great to have you here. And of course, they're here as part of celebrations for the year of return. And what a time to return to do a very key, operation for basketball development. Guys, good to have you once again.
Good to be here. Good to
okay, of course. Let's just get into the business of basketball and its development on the continent. Considering that you got to play at the highest level, how do you assess the prospects based on, things that you've done previously? Because this is not even necessarily the first time that you've tried to get in touch with the roots and the grassroots so that you can develop something.
I think continent-wide, this has been in place for a while now. I think if you look at some of the successes of African players, if you start with Dikembe Mutombo, Akeem Olajuwon, fast forward all the way to today with Pascal Siakam, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Serge Ibaka, we've had, Africans have had success in the NBA, but now I feel like it is our duty as current and former NBA players to grant those opportunities to the younger generation. So I think that's how we look at things, and it's our social responsibility to do so. So moving forward, we're going to keep making a valiant effort to make sure we provide those opportunities for other players too.
John, tell me about the structure of this camp that you'll be running over the next few days.
Yeah, so whenever we do a camp such like this, we, the NBA, are here to support Pops. Pops came to us and said, look, I really want to come back home and give opportunities back, to the youth here. And so this fits in within the overall strategy of basketball development across the continent. We launched NBA Africa in 2010. We set up our league office in, Johannesburg, but have junior NBA leagues running in 14 countries around the continent, soon to expand to 20. And so we're actually looking to use this and supporting Pops as a way to launch junior NBA here in Ghana.
Pops, now, definitely you'd want to see, some of the leagues extended here to Ghana. But of course, we need structures first. So how often do you want to put together this kind of camp? And what's the kind of eventual effect that you want to see?
That's a great question. I think, initially it was going to be an annual thing where we come back and have a camp. But for sustainability and longevity-wise, we're going to put some things in place that will allow a system, ecosystem to be built, whereas it's not just for domestic players to have opportunities to go overseas or the NBA or to go to college in the U.S., but also to build a foundation of athletes and players who can contribute to this Basketball Africa League that's here now. So I really feel like we have to start somewhere. And again, like I said before, it's our responsibility as players and executives who have come before to provide that avenue and build that bridge for those players who are aspiring to do great things. So that we're trying to put that in place. So we're in the process of doing everything, but we haven't forgotten.
Yeah, talk about putting things in place, John. We need structures. Okay, we need physical structures to get this done. Now, what are the requirements, for instance, if you want to put together the junior NBA league, for instance, and you want to start it off in Ghana?
Yes.
What kinds of physical structures are you looking at?
Yeah, the good thing is, we can actually start with what is existing.
Okay.
However, in order to give a lot more kids the opportunity, we need more basketball courts. So I actually just came from, a press conference where I committed that the NBA is going to come in and build one outdoor court here in the next 6 months. And, you know, we would want then the corporate world here in Ghana, the government to partner with us to expand that and build even more courts. But now if we're talking about, you know, being able to host big international events and tournaments, AfroBasket, for example, is currently being hosted in Senegal. And we've announced that we're going to take the Final Four of the BAL to Rwanda. The reason why we can do that is because the governments there are committed to building infrastructure. You know, so I think, you know, that our message here is, if you build it, we will come.
Great stuff there. All right, so if you just joined us, we're having an NBA discussion here. The 2019 NBA camp being put together by Pops Mensah Bonsu, who's made history as the first Ghanaian to be a general manager within the setup of the NBA, also as a former player as well. And of course, John Manuel Plange is in charge of business strategy for the Basketball Africa League. And this is taking place this month. They're also taking part very actively in the year of return activities that we're having for the rest of the year. Now, tell me how the program is going to run, when it's beginning, and the various, you know, branches or the various divisions within the few days that you're going to run the program.
Sure. I mean, we're, you know, here for the first couple of days, just, you know, promoting this, putting the word out there, doing media meetings with people, but then the camp itself will be on Sunday and on Monday at the IGC courts in Abosokai.
Oh, great.
And Pops can get into more detail with that.
Yes, so like John said, the camp will be Sunday from 1:30 to 5 o'clock. All ages, boys and girls from 12 to 18. Monday we'll start from 9 a.m. to 4:30. And we welcome everybody to come participate regardless of your level of play or your interest. If you want to participate in this camp, we welcome everyone, and we're excited to just have an introductory camp to
go over the ages again?
12 to 18.
12 to
boys
18.
And girls.
Okay, and it's open to all?
Free and open to all. I know some people were trying to figure out whether they have to pay, but that we're not here to benefit off the youth. We're here to cultivate and pour back into them. So it's a totally free camp, and, you know, gives them a chance to exhibit their talents or just experience the game of basketball in general.
Well, interesting stuff there. But we can't leave without talking about the previous season where, I mean, the Raptors, you know, blew everybody's mind.
The African team.
The African team, yeah.
I mean, tell me about, you know, your levels of excitement and whether really, I mean, when the season started, it was something you envisaged.
For me, it's a little difficult now because I work for another team.
Yeah, I know.
But, you know, for me, it's having played for the Toronto Raptors and had some history there, I actually felt like I was part of that victory too, especially with some of the Africans on the team. I mean, Masai Ujiri was one of the first executives to sign me as a player. Pascal Siakam, I had him as a rookie when I worked for the NBA Players Association. I've known Serge Ibaka since before he came into the NBA, so I felt, you know, closely in tune or tied in with this victory. And, you know, like John said, this was Africa's team, and that it just continues to propel us in regards to the sport of basketball in the continent. And everybody says, what is the global impact of sports in Africa? I would say, what's the global impact of Africa in the sports world?
Great stuff.
We're showing what we have. We have the resources, we have the talent, and with what just happened this past season, we're showcasing that there's talent on the continent.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
And I think for me, you know, yes, you know, Africans have always been known to be, you know, athletic, and, you know, we can perform and so forth. But when you look at the Raptors from top to bottom, right, the Africans there. The president and general manager of the team is an African. The head of scouting is an African. Assistant coach is an African, right? So the brains behind the operation, the strategy, the talent, the business acumen, all of that
African.
is all African, you know.
Most importantly, the three of us in here in the studio are also African.
Amen.
Gentlemen,
Right.
thank you very much. It's been great. And our cameras surely are going to be there on, you know, on the days to capture, you know, and so we're going to be there. It's on Sunday, and it's from 1 p.m. all the way down till 5 p.m.
5 p.m. and
to
then
5
Monday,
p.m.
9 to 4:30.
Okay, so Sunday and Monday, it's free. And of course, you need to make your way there. And of course, for those of you who were unable to take some pictures with Pops when he came the last time, well, you can make your way to the ICGC basketball courts. You're going to find him there. So we're going to be doing some more, and follow Joy Sports for more on this 2019 NBA camp. That's it for sport. My name is Nathaniel Attor, and I have love for sport.